Okay, can you guys hear me? So it is 6:30. I think we can start our live stream for today. If you guys can hear me in the chat, please give me a thumbs up. All right, just to let me know that we're good to start. Hello? Okay. All right. I think, yeah, seems like you guys can hear me. Okay. Cool, cool. Then let's make a start then. All right. Welcome, everybody. Okay. So today in this live stream, we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the PSLE math questions that popped out in today's test. So first thing first, congratulations, everyone. Okay. If you guys are P6s, please give yourself a round of applause. Extremely well done on today's paper. All right. And yeah, guys, you're halfway through, almost there. Okay. So for the P5s, all right, I think it's a good learning opportunity to see what popped up in this year's questions. And of course, you can also challenge yourself to see if you know how to do these questions, right? Okay, because all of the concepts I think you guys should all learned already, I think, right? So in that case, let's make a start. Alrighty. Oh, and I would like to add one more thing for the P6s. Okay, guys, no matter what is today's answer, okay, no matter what are the answers for all of these questions, whether you get it correct or get it wrong, please don't really let it affect you that much. Okay, remember you still have 2 more papers coming up. All right, so what's done is done. It's in the past. All right, we'll just discuss a little bit and then we'll move on from here. Okay? Okay, cool. Then let's make a start then. So let's get the very, very first question of this 2025 paper, right? Okay, so by the way, this is not in the correct order. These questions are just like, donated from some of the students who have sat for the paper today. Okay, so it's not 100% accurate. Disclaimer is not 100% accurate. There could be, difference in the wording, all right, differences in the conditions. So guys, if any P6s here, note that, there's something that's a little bit different from what they have seen, you can also let me know lah. Okay, then let's start. So what's the very first question? All right, so did you guys manage to do this one? I think this is the only MCQ question that we managed to get. Okay, so this is a really interesting one, right? Because it's a folding question. Okay, so which of the following statements are true? Are true. Okay, and you have 3 of the statements over here. So the diagram's a little bit not drawn to scale, guys. Okay, but basically, as I have always told you guys, if there is a folding question, okay, your goal is to unfold it. So it's a bit tricky with this one. It's a little bit hard to see. Okay, so I'm just gonna draw over here for you guys to visualize it better. Okay, so the diagram's not drawn very well, right? A bit off. Okay, so just imagine that, let's say this is point X, okay? So point X over here, right? All right, then I'm just gonna do my best. As you guys know, teaching is not good at drawing. Okay, it looks very ugly. All right, and the key to this question is to understand this line of symmetry. Do we all know what line of symmetry means, people? Do you guys all know what the line of symmetry means? Yes, right? Okay, so the line of symmetry basically tells you that after you fold this part up and this part down, all right, then you get a figure that is perfectly cut into half over here. And what I want you guys to notice, okay, about this figure is something very interesting, guys. You have a square ABCD, right? So if I take this side AB and I fold it down to this point, that means this line over here must be equivalent to the side of the square, right? Okay, side of the square. Similarly, the side of the square over here, DC, has been folded upwards. So this is also side of the square. Considering that BC is also a side of the square, that immediately tells you that this triangle over here must be, okay, equilateral. So the first question that you can immediately tell is this. All right, ABC, this triangle over here, is it an equilateral triangle? It is indeed an equilateral triangle because you can prove that all 3 sides are the same. So C is definitely correct, right? So if C is definitely correct, that means option A over here is confirmed out. Yeah? Okay. So A is out, right? Very good. Then in that case, what about the rest? Oh no, that's so difficult. Okay, what about the rest? Which one else? Which other statements are correct? Okay, so let's look at the very first statement then. XBA is 30 degrees. Mark it out. Where is XBA? Okay, XBA is this angle over here, right? So that means this is the angle over here, this angle. Are you sure this is 30 degrees? Do we know whether or not this is 30 degrees? Thoughts? Yes, no, no, yes? Okay, there's a C only option. Oops. Then maybe these options are wrong. Okay, but anyway, this is definitely not 30. Why? Because guys, this angle here is 60, right? This angle here is 60. This angle here is 60. This angle here is 60, right? So in that case, that tells you that because this is a folding question, okay, these two angles over here, this one, ABX and XBA, okay, is gonna give you, all right, 30 altogether. So that means each of this angle being equivalent is gonna equal to 15. It is 15 degrees, very good. Okay, so since it's 15 degrees, A is out. Right, so each of these small angles here is 15. Right, so in that case, A is out. If A is out, tuk tuk, tuk tuk, that means D is the correct answer. Unless the options are wrong. Okay, so let's confirm. What about B? Okay, so far I know that A is out and B is unknown, but C is correct, right? Okay, then what about option number B then? Okay, what about option B? Is it correct? True, false, not possible to tell? Okay, where is it? Angle GXB. Where is GXB? Let's try to figure it out first. Okay, so angle GXB, guys, all right, if you follow the diagram, GXB is this angle over here. This one over here. Okay, and then in this diagram, GXB is over here. So you're looking for this one, right? Okay, so if you found that this is 15, then you know that this is 90. Agree? If this is 90, what is this angle over here? Yeah, anybody? Then this angle, this small angle over here is going to be 90 minus 15, which is 70, 75. Okay, so if this small angle here is 75, then this angle here would be 105, right? Okay, it is 180 minus 75 equals to 105. Okay, oops, there we go. Okay, so this is 105. So in that case, B is absolutely correct. Oh, can you guys see? Can you guys see the screen? Can see the screen, right? Wait, should I minimize the screen a little bit? How do I do this? Give me a moment, my screen is lagging a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay. So in that case, all right, that means my answer now is 105. So this is 105 is correct. So B and C are correct. That means your answer is D. Okay. Yeah, maybe the options are wrong. If the options are a little bit off, it's fine. All right. But guys, as long as you know that there are these two that are basically correct. Oh, I have to scroll down. Ah, I see what you mean now. Okay, sorry. I didn't notice that. Give me a moment. Oh, no, now I moved. So I can only go with half of the screen. Okay, got it. Sorry, guys. If I minimize the screen, is it better? Give me a moment. Can't minimize the screen. Okay, hang on a minute. It's a bit laggy. Okay, sorry about that. It's a little bit laggy, but anyway, the options, let me see. I can't seem to, that means I'm working with very limited space here. Right, it's okay. Let me just delete all of this first. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so my bad, guys. I'll try to keep it within the screen. My apologies. I didn't notice that you guys couldn't see the options at the bottom. Okay, but anyway, B and C are the correct answer for this particular question. Yeah? Still can't see the options. What if I minimize this even further? Okay, let's try. Is it better now? Let me see. Okay, so I need to go with this size then. Now you all can see the full question already, right? Can you see the full question with with all of the options? Yeah, now it's better, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. Sorry, my bad, guys. I didn't notice that you guys couldn't see. Okay, so that's why the answer, anyway, the answer here was D. Okay, so I'll just move on from this question first. Let's go to the next one. Okay, let me hang on. This time I'm going to make sure you guys can see before I continue with the question. Okay, can y'all see? Okay. Alrighty, then I'll go on to this question then. Question number 2. So this is the second one that we got. Again, not in the correct order. Okay, so this is a very interesting one because this kind of uses a little bit of concept that, okay, you guys are very clear with, which is the number of cubes with a certain number of painted faces, right? In this case, it's 2 painted faces. So you guys need to know that, okay, basically if 2 of the faces of your cubes are painted blue, all right, where are these cubes usually located? Especially if I take a cuboid and I split it into smaller 1 by 1 by 1 cube, okay? So in that case, all right, it should be located along the edges, right? They tell you in this question that first thing first, I have a cuboid with a square base, so the base is a square, okay? And then you have 68 1 cm cubes, okay, that had 2 of its faces painted. So you know that if I have 2 of its faces painted, it's going to be located along the edges of this cuboid, right? Okay, and you're looking for its original volume. And the only number you're given is the height. Okay, so think about this, guys, all right? Think about it. Let's say I focus on the height. Along the height, how many cubes do you guys think, okay, have 2 faces painted? All right, so you know that the 2 corners, I'm going to exclude it. So if let's say I have 9 cm height, I exclude the 2 corners because I know that the corners have 3 painted faces. That means in the middle over here, along the height, I have 9 minus 2, which is 7. So I have 7 cubes, okay, that have 2 painted faces, okay? And how many of these long vertical edges do you have? You have 4 of it, right? Okay, so 7 times 4 equals to 28. That means along the heights, right, along the edges for the heights, you have a total of 28 cubes with 2 faces painted. So out of the 68, okay, I know that 28 are along the vertical heights. Okay, so that means I have 40 left. Now, where is 40 located? These 40 are located along the length and along the breadth. And since your base is a square, that means the number of 2 face painted cubes here and here, okay, are going to be exactly the same, right? So how many edges are there left? There are actually 12 minus 4. There are 8 edges left, right? 8 edges left, and all of these edges are the same length. So 40 divided by 8 tells me that I have 5 cubes along each of the remaining edges that have 2 faces painted. So guys, imagine this. If I have 5 cubes, okay, over here, right, that have 2 of its faces painted, how many cubes are there along the edge? It must be 5 plus 2 equals to 7. Okay, it must be 7, right? So in that case, all right, guys, what is the volume of this entire large cuboid? So now that you know one side of the square base, okay, if one side of the square base is 7, that means it must be 7 times 7 times 9, giving you 4, 4, 1. Okay? Okay? Alrighty. Okay, so that's for this particular question, right, guys? All right, so hopefully you guys got this one. If not, it's okay. So we learned something today, yeah? This is a little bit different from what we usually are tested. Usually are asked to find the number of a certain cube with a certain number of painted faces, right? So slightly different. So that's quite interesting. Okay, then in that case, we move on to the next question. Are you guys ready? Okay. All right, then I'm going to move on to the next question. Let me make sure that we can all see the question first before I move on. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty, so we can all see the question now, yeah? Cool. Then we move on. I think is one that's very familiar to a lot of you guys who have sat for the paper today. Okay, this is the last question from paper 1. All right, and this is a very interesting one, right? Okay, so this one, okay, if you guys have been with our long-term course, haha, then this is something that we have talked about before. Okay, so this is actually testing you on the concept of constant difference. Okay, so what does that mean? So guys, what you're gonna notice is this, all right? Here, you are given the ratio that describes to you the relationship between the length and the breadth, right? The length and the breadth. So if let's say I tell you that AB, okay, AB to DB is 5:2, what does that mean? That means the length is 5 units altogether, while the breadth is 2 units altogether, right? And if you observe very closely, I noticed that the length is actually made up of 229, 29 times 2, plus the side of the square. Do I know what the side of the square is? No, I do not. Does it matter? No, it does not. Why? Because the breadth also has this same side, right? Okay, so your breadth is just 10 plus S. Okay, so what you're gonna notice is this, guys. If let's say I remove the two sides, okay, from the length and the breadth, okay, then I'm just left with the 229s and the 10, right? And what you're gonna notice is that the difference does not change. Okay, the difference is constant because you have removed the same number from them. Okay, so the difference over here is 3 units, right? Okay, so 3 units equals to, okay, 29 times 2, that's 58 plus S, which is for the side, minus 10 minus S, right? The two sides cancel each other out. And, okay, 58 minus 10 leaves you with 48. So 3 units equals to 48. 1 unit equals to 16, right? 48 divided by 3. So you're looking for AB. AB is just 5 units. So 5 units equals to, 16 times 5, which equals to 80, right? So I do see in the chat that quite a number of you guys got 80. Yeah? Nicely done. Okay, so did we all get this one? Quite a number of you guys got this one? Yeah? Excellent. Okay, fantastic. Let's move on to the next question, shall we? Okay, so the next question is actually super, super friendly. Was this in paper 1 or paper 2? Paper 1, I think, right? The next question. Okay, I'm just gonna scroll and make sure we can all see first before I continue again. Yeah, okay, so we can see. Fantastic. All right, so let's move on to question 4. I believe this is one of the questions from paper 1. Okay, but this is a surprisingly friendly one. All right, I think it's one of the friendlier ones that we got. Okay, do you remember what you guys got for this question? Anybody remember your answer? Yeah? Okay, then let's talk about it. Okay, so here Tom split some apples into 3 groups. Okay, group A has 25% of the apples. And okay, you're given the ratio of B to C, right? Find the ratio of A to find the ratio of the number of apples in A to C. Okay, so let's write it out then. Group A has 25% of the apples. So what does that mean? So that means A, right, to B plus C, okay, is in the ratio of 1:3, right? 1:3. Why? Because the others would represent 75%. Agree? Okay, great. So in that case, all right, I also know that B to C, okay, is in a ratio of 3:2, okay, with a total of 5, right? So this is a constant part question, right, guys? Constant part. Okay, so the constant part tells you that BC and the total over here, which is also B plus C, should be the same. So your goal is now just make them the same. All right, which should be quite straightforward. Okay, so we'll make this into 15. Then this is going to be 9, and then it's going to be 6. So as long as your units are the same, then basically it just means that you have now ensured that your unit sizes for the two ratios are the same, and you can now effectively compare it. Okay? So in that case, what's the ratio of A to C? 5 to 8, 6. Okay? Oh, where's my 6? There we go. Yeah? You put A to B. I don't know, man. Is it A to B or A to C? Sus. Okay. Yeah, I mean, could be that we got the wrong question. Maybe it's A to B instead of A to C. But yeah, I hope you guys have read the question correctly. I am uncertain. Okay, great. All right, then let's move on to the next one. Okay. This one. I think you guys should have, a clearer with this one. Is it? Don't remember this question? Shocking. What about this one? What about this one? The robot one. It's quite memorable, isn't it? The robot one. Okay. So for the P6s over here, I think, yeah, maybe the robot one is quite memorable. Okay, so let's give it a try. Let's take a look. So guys, this is actually a really easy question. I think a lot of you guys might have overthought it. Okay. Yeah, I hope you guys didn't overthink it. This particular question, right? Okay, so let's take a look. There are two robots. Robot A travels at a speed of 15 meters per minute, right? So guys, given distance, given the speed, what can you immediately calculate? You can immediately calculate the time, right? So the first step is clearly 240 divided by 15. Okay, and then you get 16 minutes. So that tells you that A is able to complete the entire journey in 16 minutes, right? In 16 minutes. Okay, and then, all right, guys, you also know that B is able to complete the entire journey in 14 minutes, right? In 14 minutes. Okay, so they ask you, all right, how minutes later did B reach the endpoint as compared to A? So you got to understand how they move, right? So guys, who started first? A started first. So A basically started by himself, okay, 7 minutes before B. So in that case, guys, what does that mean? That means, all right, let's say for the first 7 minutes, A managed to bring himself to this point. And then B starts moving. So guys, if A has already traveled for 7 minutes, how many more minutes does he need to go for? Okay, 16 minus 7, he needs to travel for another 9 minutes. Okay, so there's another 9 minutes to go. So let's say A continues to travel for 9 minutes and he reaches the end. What does B do in the meantime? B is also traveling, right? So in 9 minutes, B is also traveling and probably covered, okay, this distance. So then the question asks, guys, after the 9 minutes, A is already here. A has reached the end, but B has clearly not reached the end, right? Because B has only traveled 9 minutes out of the 14 minutes that he was supposed to travel. So in that case, how many more minutes does B need to reach the end? Just 14 minus 9. 5 minutes. Okay? And that's your answer. So if you got 5 minutes, very well done. Okay, guys, this is not a hard one. In fact, I think that they were very, very kind to you guys. Okay, the speed question was really easy. Can? Can, right? Okay, then let's move on to the next question. The next question, the ginger and onion one. Do you guys remember the ginger and onion one? Anybody remember the ginger and onion one? Okay, so let's move on to the ginger onion question. So the ginger onion question, guys, is your standard comparison and replacement. Please know how to do this. Okay, I sincerely hope you do. All right, so we're gonna go through this one. All right, let's talk about this one. I don't know what is question 10. What is question 10? Okay, but anyway, this is comparison replacement, which all of you guys should be very good at. Okay, so let's take a look. Right, 100 gram of ginger is the same as 320 grams of onion. Okay, so I'm just going to write that down. So basically, 100, okay, gram of ginger is equivalent to 320 grams of onion. Okay, so their price is the same, right? Okay, so imagine this. Imagine Peter bought 400 grams of ginger and 1,200 grams of onion. Convert that into G to make everybody the same. And this equals to a price of $6.20, right? So guys, this is standard, all right, very good. Standard comparison replacement. Basically, I'm just gonna make these two the same. Why? Because it's easy to do it, right? It's a very nice number. So in that case, if 100 gram of ginger is the same as 320 grams of onion, that means 400 grams of ginger is gonna cost the same as 320 times 4, okay, which is 1280. Oh, delete that. Okay, this is 4. Sorry for my ugly handwriting. Okay, 1280. Okay, ON. Right? So 400 grams of ginger costs the same as 1,280 grams of onion. Okay, then all you need to do is to just make a replacement. So 400 grams of ginger, I'm gonna replace it with 1280 onion. Okay, so that tells you if I add this together, 2,480 grams of onion is gonna cost you $6.20. Right? Okay, so once you find that, then, I mean, depends on how you want to do it. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You can just immediately, because you do have the calculator, right? You can just immediately go and find out what is the cost of 1 gram of onion, right? 1 gram of onion is just $6.20 divided by 2480, which is going to give you, be careful of the number of zeros here, $0.0025. Okay, and then what about 100 grams of ginger? Remember 100 grams of ginger is equivalent to 320 grams of onion. So you just need to find out the cost of 320 grams of onion because this is equivalent to 100 grams of ginger, right? So to find that, it's just 0.0025 multiplied by 320. And you get 0.80. So absolutely correct, guys. If you guys got 80 cents, you are absolutely correct. Well done. Yay! You converted to ginger? I mean, it works. You could do it. All right. Nicely done. Okay, cool. All right. So it seems that most of you guys managed to do this. Yeah? A lot of happy emojis, question mark. Okay, next. So we'll move on to the next one. The next one's a really friendly one, right? It's one on average. Okay, so it's just a very friendly average question. This is not very difficult. Okay, so let's very quickly go through it. All right, so let's start with part A. Okay, so let's start with part A. I think this one is super straightforward, right? I think all the P5s also know how to do this. Do you guys know how to do it? Have you guys learned average yet? Is average now a P6 topic? Okay, let's talk about it then. There are some numbers 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 5, 1, 0, 3. Okay, that's a lot of numbers. Okay, and you're asked to find the average of these numbers, right? Okay, so first thing first, I want to add them all up. Okay, so I'm going to find the total. Right, I'm going to find the total. So you just need to add up all of these numbers. All right, so be careful with the addition of all of these numbers. So it's 3 plus 2 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 1 plus 0 plus 3. Oh, I'm tired. Okay, and that is 27. Okay, so once you know that the total is 27, all right, and you know the average, right? The average is 27 divided by 10. Okay, because there are 10 numbers, you get 2.7. Yay! Okay, what about the second part? Guys, they ask you this. let's say I want to increase my average. Okay, so which are the numbers that you need to remove? Guys, okay, you need to think about who are the people that are dragging you down. Okay, think about it. If your average is 2.7, okay, some of the numbers, okay, gained an advantage, while some of them, all right, were dragged down, right? For example, like 5. 5 got dragged down to 2.7. Okay, so who are the culprits that are dragging people down? Those are the guys you want to kick away. All right. So think about it, who got dragged down and who got pushed up. All right. You want to get rid of the people, okay, who are like leeches, right? Who are sucking away the scores from the other people. Imagine, guys, in a test, right? Okay, imagine in a test, 5 out of 5. If you guys got 5 out of 5, right, you are very happy, correct or not? But what if your friend got 0? Then your teacher tell you, oh, let's be fair. Okay, ask you who have gotten full marks to donate some marks to your friend with 0. Are you happy about it? No, you're not happy about it, right? Okay, you will cry, then you will kick up a fuss, correct or not? Okay, so what you want to do is you want to just get rid of all the people who are pulling you down, who are sucking away the scores. And who are they? They are just the ones who are below average. Okay, anybody below the average line are the ones, okay, who need donation. So in that case, the numbers that he could have removed, such that the average goes up, is to just remove one of the people who are dragging you down. Okay, so it could be 0, it could be 1, or it could be 2. Right? These are the only 3 options, right? Because everybody else is above the average line and they're very happy, okay, because they're above average, right? Okay, so let's move on to the next question then. Oh, the next question is really friendly. Can you guys see the next question? Or maybe I'll move down a little bit. Okay, so for the next question, there are different ways for you guys to do it, okay, but you can do a ratio if you want, all right? So over here, you know that, all right, every 600 ml of apple juice is paired with 1 liter of orange juice to create a new juice, a mixed juice, right? Okay, so in that case, apple to orange, and then you have your mixed juice. So this mixed juice is created by taking 600 ml of apple and 1000 ml of orange to give you 1600 ml of mixed juice, right? Okay, so if I simplify that, I know that every single mixed juice is in a ratio of 3:5. So 3 apple, 5 orange, okay, to give you 8 units of mixed juice. Okay, so if goal is to get 5000 ml, how do I do it? How do I go from 8 to 5000? Okay, just do a simple division. 5000 divided by 8, that's 625. So you multiply by 625. Okay, so if you do that, all right, guys, take note of the 3. So basically, apples, okay, also need to multiply by 625, right? Because everybody does, times 625. So in that case, how much of the apple juice do you use? 3 times 625 equals to 1875 ml. So in that case, that is 1.875 liters. Okay, I'm not sure what unit they want you to express it in, but if they never explicitly state, both are fine. Okay? Okay? Yay! Okay, great. Move on to the next question. Okay, the next one is also pretty friendly, not too difficult. Oh, did not leave myself enough space for the last question. Oh, that's okay. All right, so we'll move on to the next question. Okay, this fraction one. I think this one is not as difficult as it looks. All right, guys, it's actually a lot friendlier than you think. So let's read through the question first, yeah? Say at some books, he put 1/12 of the books into three small boxes and 7/9 of them into 8 large boxes. Then he donated the rest. So they ask you, what fraction of the books did he donate? So does anybody in the chat know the answer to this question? Okay, so let's start with part 1. Okay, so let's start with part 1 now. What fraction of the books did he donate? Okay, so 1, you minus away the 1/12, okay? And then you minus away the 7/9. All right, equals to 5 over 36. Oh, I just accidentally immediately gave you the answer. I mean, ha ha ha. Sorry. Okay, so let's pretend I did not give you guys the answer immediately. Oh, how do I do this calculation, guys? Tough, tough. Okay, so all right, make 9 and 12 the same. All right, LCM is 36, right? So it's 36 over 36 minus 3 over 36 minus 28 over 36. Okay, so that is 5 over 36. Done. That's your first answer. Yeah, good job. I see quite a number of you guys got this one. Okay, so let's move on to the second one. All right, find the fraction of the books he put into each big box and each small box. Okay, is this the two-part question? All right, so anyway, let's try that. All right, so I'm gonna do the small boxes first, right? So the small boxes, all right, guys, you know that in total I have 1 over 12. I put them into 3 boxes. It's just a simple division, right? Easy, easy. Okay, so 1 over 12 times 1 over 3. Yeah, is this a little bit different? Right, guys, the questions are not like 100% accurate, okay? So if you realize that's a little bit different, there could be a discrepancy in like the answers. So don't worry too much if you got something like different. Okay? Yeah, and then what about the big one? So for the big one, okay, it's just 28 over 36 or 7 over 9. Okay, then you divide this by 8 because there are 8 big boxes, right? Okay, so 7 over 9 times 1 over 8, that is 7 over 72. Yay! Yeah, nice. I see a lot of you guys got the same answer. Good, good, good. Okay, then what the last one, guys? Did anybody got the question for the last one? I think the last one's the one with slightly tricky, right? Slightly tricky. Okay, so last one is very interesting because they say that there's 15, sorry, more books in the big boxes than the small boxes. So find the number of books she had at first, right? Okay, so here's the thing. You just need to think about, okay, books went into the boxes altogether, right? So if I think about that, I notice that, okay, actually the number, since 5 over 36 is donated, 1 minus 5 over 36 equals to 31 over 36. So 31 over 36 of the books went into the small and big boxes, right? So how many small boxes are there? There are 3 small. How many big boxes are there? There are 8 big boxes. And the difference between small and big box is 15, right? So what does that mean? That means one big box, okay, equals to, okay, one small box plus 15, okay? So 3 small boxes and 8 big boxes together is going to be, all right, 3s plus, okay, 8 of the big boxes, right? 1s plus 15. So if you add them all together, you're going to end up with 11 small, okay, plus 120. Okay, 11 small plus 120. Guys, okay, and this is equivalent to 31 over 36 of all the books, right? Since you know that in one small box, I can put 1 over 36 of the books in 11 small boxes, how many, okay, of the books did I manage to put in here, right? So it'll be 1 over 36 times 11, which is 11 over 36. That means the remaining 120 must make up the remaining 20 over 36 of the books. Does that make sense? Yeah? Okay, so if 20 over 36 of the books represent 120, then 1 over 36 will therefore represent 6. Okay, so your total would be 36 out of 36, which equals to, oh, no equal sign, right? Remember you guys said no equal sign. Okay, which equals to 6 times 36. What is 6 times 36? 216. Okay, so in that case, find the number of books that she had at first. It's 216. Okay. So it might be a little bit different now, guys. Don't worry too much, okay? This is not the exact question. All right, this is just something that people remember. It could be wrong. All right, but it's around this line. Can? Can, right? Okay. Yep, 216. Did we all get 216? Yeah, 216? Yay, good job. Okay, great. Dun-dun. All right, next we go to this question. I think was there a graph question, guys? Do you remember the graph question? Yeah? Okay. So let's look at the graph question now. All right. So the graph question is a little bit weird, I think. So I think the wording might be a little bit off. Okay. But yeah, I will just interpret this the way that I received the question. Okay. So let's take a look. So here, guys, you have a table showing the amount of time, what's his name? Jake, right? Spent working, okay, across the different days. All right. And okay, you also have a graph showing the amount of money that he is paid per day. All right. So the payment for Friday is different. Okay. So for this particular question, what's the percentage increase from Tuesday to Wednesday? I'm going to assume it's based on the amount of money that he has received. Okay. So if it's a percentage increase in the amount of money he received from Tuesday to Wednesday, okay, then it would be 12 minus 4 over 8 times 100%. Okay, so it'll just be 200%. Yeah. I'm not very sure about this question. Does anybody remember in the chat? You guys remember? It's a little bit weird. I'm thinking like the phrasing might be a little bit off. So don't worry if you guys get like a different answer, because I'm not even sure if I'm correct. Okay. I didn't get the paper, so these are just based on what people remember. Yeah. Okay. So in that case, not sure about the second question, but can you all see the second question? Oh no, you guys can't see the second question. Neo. Oh no. Hang on. Hang on a minute. We can't see the second question. Let me try to scroll. Can you see the second question now? Oh, okay. We see the second question now, right? Aha. So yeah, the second question, I'm a little bit uncertain about it, but I am just gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna just have my own interpretation. I think the phrasing's off, right? So if you guys remember the phrasing, you can let me know in the chat. If not, I'll just continue with this, okay? So based on what I understand about this, because it's saying that the ratio of payment for Thursday to Friday is 2:3. So I'm just going to assume that means that Thursday is 20 units, right? So Friday must be 30 units. Okay. And then after that, what's the ratio of the amount of money he was paid on Thursday to Friday? Oh, there's another question here as well. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm just gonna assume that this question is asking you to take, I'm gonna assume that this is the amount that you get paid like per hour. Is it? Is this the amount that you get paid per hour? Might be. All right, so it's a little bit odd, okay? So I'm just gonna assume that this is the amount that you get paid like per hour. Okay, so then they ask you guys for the ratio of the amount that he was paid on Thursday to Friday. So if he gets paid 20 units per hour on Thursday, right? Then is that not what it means? I think it is, right? I'm not very sure. Okay, anyway, take this with a grain of salt. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm not very sure what this is saying. Okay, so roughly my understanding is that, okay, if let's say you get paid in the ratio of 2:3, okay, then if I look at the number of hours as well, okay, then what you have is on Thursday, you have 20 units and then 10 hours. So you get paid 200 units, right? While on Friday, okay, you're paid 30 units for 8 hours, and that is 240 units. So Thursday to Friday, will be in the ratio of 200 to 240, which is 5:6. Right? Something like that. Something like that. Okay? So I think it's something along this line. I'm just not very sure about this one. Yeah, I think that's probably like something missing. Though, guys, this is not the proper version now, okay, guys? All right, so it's roughly around here. I think this one a little bit uncertain, okay? But we will go to ones that I think I'm a little bit more certain about. Okay? So the 3 per hour. Okay, yeah, that's fine then. Okay, so yeah, this one's up for debate lah. Okay, I'm not sure about the 5 to 6. By the way, I'm not sure because I'm not sure that this is the correct question. Okay, so you guys judge by yourself, right? Because you all know the question, right? The graph is the total amount of money. Okay, yeah. Okay, so just take this one with a grain of salt. I think because the information is not clear, right? Okay, but we'll do something that's a little bit clearer, right? One that makes a little bit more sense, like this one. Okay, so what about this one? All right, so this one, okay, we got to be a little bit more careful. All right, so this one, I think a lot of you guys got a bit careless over here, right? Okay, did anyone get the answer half? Anybody got the answer half? Yeah, I think some of you guys do. Okay, so if you guys got the answer half, so close. You have to read the question very carefully, right? So there are 3 rows of chairs. Each row had the same number of chairs. Some students sat on the chairs, taking up 5/8 of the total chairs. 1/5 of the students left. So think about it, people. If let's say you're set on 5/8 of all of the chairs, that means 5/8 of all the chairs contain students, right? Okay, 1/5 of those 5/8 left. So what do you have left? Okay, I have 4/5 left, right? So 4/5 of the 5/8 are left. And if you simplify it, you're going to get half. What does that mean? That means half of all your rows are full, right? Okay, so just imagine it this way. I have 3 rows. Okay, you have 3 rows, right? And half is full. But, okay, I want the people in the 3rd row, imagine, to move to the first 2 rows. So let's say I just move to the 2nd row. Okay, if I move to the 2nd row, then they ask you what fraction of the first 2 rows are filled. So we just observe the first 2 rows. Okay, total I'm supposed to have 4 units. All right, that means I have 3 out of a total of 4 units. So your answer is 3/4. Okay? Right? So do we all have this roughly? Yeah. Okay. Great. Next question. All right. Do you guys recognize the question at the bottom? I'm going to move down now. Okay. Can you see? Let me wait for a little while. Okay, I think we can see it, right? Aha. Okay, what about this one? What about the red and blue card question? Do you guys manage to get this one? Anybody manage to get this one? Okay, so let's talk about this one really quickly. Okay, so for this particular question, I quite like it. It's quite interesting and very prone to careless mistakes, right? All right, so John packed some blue cards and 238 red cards into packets. There are 7 cards in each packet. Okay, for every 3 packets packed, 4 are blue. Okay, so, oh, hi, Kaylin. So what does that mean? So that means, okay, I have 3 packets, right? So total is 21. All right, so of these 21 cards, 4 are blue, meaning what? Meaning that, okay, I have 17 red, correct? I have 17 red. So if I have 17 red, okay, in every 3 packets, Then I have 2, 3, 8 red all together, right? So how many of these 3 packs do I have? Okay, so 2, 3, 8 divided by 17. All right, you get 14. So guys, a lot of you guys will put 14 as the final answer. Okay, did anyone put 14 as the final answer? Oh dear. Okay, so hopefully not, right? Because why you're missing one last step? You're just telling me that there are 14 sets. Okay, there are 14 sets of the 3 packs. So 14 times 3, okay, equals to 42. So how many packs did John use? Okay, 42 packs. Ah, okay. Oh dear. Okay, 42. Do you get 42 as the answer? Alrighty, then shall we move on? Okay. Next question. Can y'all see this one? This one I thought was quite tricky. Did you guys manage to do this one? Yeah, anybody? You guys manage to do this one? Okay, good. So how do we do this question, right, guys? Okay, it might be a little bit different, okay, from what you guys see. The phrasing might not be exactly right, okay, but it's roughly there, right? So let's say A and B has starting with the same amount of money, okay? So they start with the same amount of money. Now, each pillow, they are buying some pillows. So each pillow costs $8. A bought some pillows and had $3 left, right? The cushions cost $5. Then B bought some cushions and had $7 left. So we know that each of them had less than $40. How many cushions did B buy? Okay, so I see a lot of you guys putting your answer into the chat, right? A lot of you guys say you got 4. Is that the correct answer? Let's talk about it. Okay, so just imagine this, right, guys? You can just actually do a simple listing. This is LCM, you're absolutely correct. And this is just about listing out your answers, okay? So in the first scenario, for A, what is going to happen to A? A is going to take his money and he's going to divide his money by 8, correct or not? Because A bought pillows. So he's going to divide by 8 and he will have a remainder of 3, right? So if I want to calculate the amount of money that A has at first, okay, what do? I will take the number of cushions that he bought, the number of pillows that he bought, multiply by 8, and then I plus 3. Agree? Okay, and same thing with B. All right, same thing with B. Okay, B, I'll take the number of cushions that he bought, multiply by 5, and then plus 7. Okay, so now what we want to do is this. We know that they had the same amount of money at first, right? So what you want to do is to just try the numbers until you get a number that's smaller than 40, okay? That is the same for A and B and matches the conditions, right? So just list, it's just listing. Okay, so if I bought 1 pillow, okay, that's 1 times 8 plus 3, all right? So that's 11. Now, what if I bought 2 pillows? If I bought 2 pillows, that's 16. 16 plus 3, that's 19. If I bought 3 pillows, okay, 3 times 8 plus 3, 27. If I bought 4 pillows, 4 times 8 plus 3, that is 35. And I know that I can't go on anymore because that would overshoot 40, right? Okay, then what about for B? It's the same idea. 1 times 5 plus 7. So if I only bought 1 cushion, that means I spent 12. If I bought 2 cushions, 17. 3 cushions, 22. 4 cushions, 27. So what you're gonna notice is, hang on. Okay. So A and B hit 27. They both hit 27, right? So when you list out the possibilities, they both hit 27. So 27 must be the amount of money that they each had at first. So how many cushions did B buy? B bought 4 cushions, right? How did I know that? 27 minus 7, that means you spent $20 on the cushion. 20 divided by 5, that's 4 cushions. So if you guys got the answer 4, absolutely correct. Are you guys okay with this one? Yeah, if you guys did guess and check, that's a very good one. It's basically guess and check, right? Just listing it out. Okay, good. Alrighty then. Now we shall now move on to the final question of the day. Okay, I think this is the last one. So the last one we managed to collect, I think it's the last question from your paper too. Okay, can I check with you guys? Did you guys manage to get this one? I quite like this question. It's very cute. Yeah, do you guys manage to get this one? All right. A lot of happy faces. So I'm going to assume that everybody know how to do this one. Oh no, why did you get the last question wrong? Okay, so the last question is actually a lot friendlier than you think. All right, guys. So you just need to observe very, very carefully. All right, and I'm not going to just zoom in a little bit so that you guys can see the diagram a little bit better because it's a bit small, right? Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in so we can see this one. Okay. All right, let me just double check that you can all see this before I continue. Can we see it? Okay, great. So the first question, you're looking for AB, right? So the first thing we're looking for is AB. Okay, so how do I find AB, which is the side of the triangles? Oh, there's a missing information, by the way. So guys, these three triangles are all equilateral triangles, right? Yeah, so probably have to mention that they're all equilateral triangles, okay? So in that case, if they're equilateral, how do you do this? Well, guys, if they're equilateral, that tells you that they're all the same length. Agree? So look at these two overlap over here. You know this part is 18. All right, and this part is, I don't know. Just give it a name. That's it. I call this 1 unit. Okay? So let's say that this part here is 1 unit, right? If I focus on the white triangle, that means this part here is 1 unit, okay? And then this part here should be what? This part here should be 18. Why? Because the two sides over here are equivalent and they overlap with 1 unit. So the other two sides must also be the same. Okay? So once you know that this part is 18, honestly, that's half your battle won. Because once you know that this is 18, you'll be able to calculate that this part here is 15, right? So I'm just going to make some labels. You don't have to know that this is 15. It doesn't quite matter. Because all you need is this part here, right? You just need this part. Since the total is 41, 15, 3, 18 altogether for this part, right? So just 41 minus 18, okay, you get 23. So this part here is 23. Okay, and one side of the equilateral triangle will just be 23 plus 3, the small 3 cm here, which is 26. Yeah, 26. Yay. Okay, so 26 is part 1. I think the number of you guys got part 1, right? So was part 2 the problem? So what's part 2? Okay, guys, part 2 asks you to find the parameter of the shaded parts. Do you guys know how to find the parameter of the shaded parts? All right, actually, you just need to understand this. Guys, can somebody tell me if this is an equilateral triangle, like the big one? If the big one's an equilateral triangle, what about this small triangle here? Is this also equilateral? Yes or no? What do you guys think? Anybody? Yeah, it's also equilateral, right? Yeah. Okay, so if you guys manage to figure out that this is equilateral, that is actually your breakthrough. Why? Because, guys, think about it. The big one's an equilateral triangle, so this angle here is 60. So is this angle here. And therefore, so is this angle here. So this small one over here and this small triangle over here, they are both equilateral triangles. So all three sides are the same. Okay? So what's the purpose of knowing that? What's the purpose of knowing that? Okay, the purpose of knowing that is really important because that helps you out a lot, right? Guys, let's trace out. I'm looking for the parameter of the shaded part, so which do I need to include? I need to include this side over here, all right, because this is one side of the triangle. I need this part, right? And I also need this part, correct or not? Okay, but since the small right triangle is equilateral, this side is equivalent to this side. Okay, so rather than finding the sides one by one, I just need to find them together. Okay, so similarly, all right, guys, I also need this part, which is 18 cm. Okay, and I don't want this part over here, right? And on the other end, I also want this, which is also one side of the large equilateral triangle. And I want this as well. Since I want this small side here, transfer over equals to this part. They're the same. Okay, and then here you already know it's 23, right? So in that case, okay, how do I do this? Just add them all up, right? So you can see that actually I kind of have 6 sides of the equilateral triangle, right? 26 times 6. Okay, so I almost have 6 sides, but there are some parts I do not want. What are the parts I do not want? I don't want this small 3 cm here. Okay, and I don't want this part. What is this part? This part is 26 total minus 18, which is 8. This part here is 8. Okay, so 156 minus away that 8 minus away that 3 cm. Don't want this one, don't want this one. 1, 4, 5. Done. Okay, yay, that's it. I realized I kind of wrote my workings at the bottom. You all can't see. Sorry. Let me write it on the top. Sorry. Let me write the workings at the top because I realized that you couldn't see the bottom. Yeah, I'm just going to write it over here. All right. So 26 minus 18, you get 8 cm. There's a small part here. Okay. And then you take your total of the six sides, minus away these 2 segments. Minus away 3. Okay. 1, 4, 5. Yay. All right. So that's the last of the questions that we managed to collate. Again, I like to point out to all of the P6s, guys, it doesn't matter what your answer was today. Okay, it doesn't matter if you got many correct answers or many wrong answers. Okay, it's fine. All right, what's done is done. Okay, let's try to move on from here. Okay. So, of course, all right, guys, I hope that this was helpful for you guys. I hope that this managed to calm some of your anxiety. Okay, but whatever the result is, guys, you're done with the paper. You're done with math. Okay, and you guys are halfway through PSLE, right? So there's only 2 more papers, 2 more subjects, or 3 left. Okay, so we are almost there, guys. So good luck for your upcoming papers. Work hard over the weekends. It is the final couple of days. Okay, and then you guys can enjoy yourself, play all you want after PSLE. Okay? Yay! Alrighty, then that's it for today, guys. Okay, thank you guys for all coming down. All right. So yeah. All right. Go and enjoy yourself. Take a good break before we start our final weekend of revision. Yes. Okay, good luck for science and mother tongue. Or entire mother tongue. Right? Okay, then that's it for today, everybody. Thank you guys. You may go. Yay! Good job. So for those of you guys who are like, yeah, good job, good job. Yeah, good luck, everybody. All the best. Bye-bye. You're welcome. Bye-bye. Good luck, everybody. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to stop this here. Okay. Okay, can already, right?